Hey guys, it's Max from Bravo Ready. Today we're just going to go over a couple things that I learned from this past weekend's bug out camping trip we took. The whole point of this trip was you literally take your bug out bag. That's it. Whatever's in that bag, whatever you keep in it from every day, whether you actually carry your bug out bag with you in your car to work with you, or if it just sits at home. The whole point of the trip was to take what you keep in that normally. So we didn't pack a bunch of extra stuff in there. We were allowed one change, and with that, my actual, I guess you could say emergency food, the freeze dried stuff like that doesn't take up a lot of space. I did swap that out, and my big thing with that was a personal thing because all the emergency food I have tried it. I know I like it somewhat. I know I'll eat it, I guess is the best way to put it. So I didn't really see a point in doing that. So I actually did take, just some normal food and some tuna and stuff like that. But something else that, just to kind of push myself to try it a little bit more, I didn't take any water in with me. So, we were out there for 3 days. And I took no water in with us. So it made us, actually have to use our water purification techniques, what we had. And we learned a whole lot in this trip, and we'll go over that a little bit more in depth, section by section. Stay tuned. Alright, guess the best place to start is what I took that will no longer be in my bag. And one thing that I did, and I did it to myself, and I did it on purpose. I wanted to take in a lot of extra gear, not be a glutton for punishment, because I wanted to see what I did use opposed to what I didn't use. What was not going to serve a purpose opposed to what was going to be dead weight. So for this specific trip, it sucked because I took in a whole lot of extra weight, but in the future it's going to pay off more. Starting off, I'm real big into redundancy, and so I had, for fire, we'll take fire starting for example. I took in, I had just an absurd amount of fire starting material. 5 ferrocerium rods. I had a gallon Ziploc bag full of fire starting stuff. It's unnecessary. Get one good ferrocerium rod, a decent sized one, and carry that. You don't need 5. But I had probably had 300 matches in there. I took in tinder with me. I'm not saying ditch all your tinder, but you are going, if you're going to be doing this and go out in the woods, you're going to have tinder around you. There's ways to dry it out. There's ways to process it properly. But yeah, do take some tinder with you, but don't overdo it. Something else I really overpacked, and honestly, it was supposed to be I figured it was going to be a little bit colder than it was this weekend, but I took quite a bit of extra, clothes, some thermal layers. I had some of the cold gear from Under Armour and stuff, and, all in all, I didn't wear any of it. Part of that was because of the weather, but another part of it was, if I did start to get a little chilly in the evenings, or when we first woke up, I'd be right next to the fire. We had a fire going the entire time. We made sure that was going. So with that, I probably won't be packing thermal layers in there. I keep thermal layers in my vehicle every day, just because you never know. If you need, it can be an exchange of clothes. But I do keep them in there, so worst comes to worst, if it was bitterly cold, I would have them in my vehicle, but in my bag, they're not going to be in that bag anymore. I wore Coyote BDUs and a Coyote battle shirt, and I went ahead and took an extra set of BDU pants and another battle shirt, a multicam one. That's not going to be in there. It's just dead weight, and they take up an absurd amount of space in there. If it comes to the point where I'm actually using this bag, I understand that, if you get wet, you want to put dry clothes on, but in my opinion, it's not worth it to me. So that was a lot of weight that I'm already ditching. I took in a little bit heftier pots and pans to cook with. Part of that was because I didn't like the little cooking set that I did have, and part of that was just because I was a glutton and wanted to take in a little bit bigger pans to, you know, boil water in, and some of the foods that I took required a little bit bigger cooking container. Those are gone for sure. Which, granted, they probably wouldn't have ever been in there realistically in the first place, but they're gone. I'm gonna get small cooking containers, and they're gonna be in that bag if I even put them back in that bag. You know, that's still something that's up in the air for me. Another thing, I took in way too many light sources. I took in 7 flashlights, ranging from, you know, a full-size mag light or medium-sized mag light down to these little string lights, you know, that I got from being a firefighter. That's going to get cut back as well. It really is. With my flashlights, I'm probably going to take 2, maybe 3. And that's going to be a headlamp, a small hand light, and then a major, you know, a decent sized light. It's with that, I'm going to pack some extra bulbs in there, and the extra batteries. But all in all, you know, all those lights, they're not going back in there. I took in a sleeping bag, which is a 10-degree sleeping bag, a hammock, and a tarp for my shelter. Those things are going to stay, minus the sleeping bag. I am going to be getting a different sleeping bag. That sleeping bag, it's a pretty good sized bag, and it's not so much the weight, but it was just unnecessarily large. It took up a lot of space. I had it lashed on the outside of my bag the entire time in, the hike in and out. It was pulling back. It was really putting a stress and a pinch right here on my shoulders, and so that bag is out. I'm going to get a smaller, more compact bag and to keep in there. The hammock I did take, it was just a normal single set hammock. I'm 6'2". I'm a little bit too tall for it, but you know, a situation like that, it was perfectly fine. I was comfortable. I woke up, full night's sleep every night. It's small. I'm sure you've seen the little hammock bags. It's staying with that. The tarp I took in just a basic blue tarp, and my big thing with that was I'm actually going to try to find a more shelter-oriented system. So it's a little bit thinner, and I'm going to try to find one, the OD green with the reflective layer on the inside. That way, you know, it does help trap some heat while you're sleeping. So with that, you won't have to have, you know, the 10-degree sleeping bag opposed to a 30 or 40-degree sleeping bag. What else? Oh, the major thing, the bag I took. I'll show you guys. I took this bag. It's a Sandpiper of California. This bag is not for hiking that far and for prolonged use like that. The straps are they're not padded at all. They're too thin and they're not wide at all. And this thing, without the support around your neck, it was digging into my shoulders. It was terrible. By the time, you know, we got there the first night, I didn't know what I was going to do about my neck and shoulders. They were hurting so bad. So that bag, it's gone. I'm actually going to get a bag with probably, more likely, this is gonna be dependent on the person. I'm going to get one with internal supports, and then a actual proper yoke that goes around your neck. And that one also doesn't have a waist strap. I'm going to get one that actually fits my torso, so I can have a waist strap. So with that, that's what's out of my bag, 100%. No questions asked. The bag was what surprised me the most. You know, I've heard that the bag's the most important thing, and that definitely is the truth. And that played out this week. So now we'll go ahead and move on to what I am keeping in my bag. Stay tuned. Alright, so now things I am going to keep in my bag for sure. I'm actually just did a video on these, but I said that, you know, I'm eliminating a lot of my fire kit and things like that. This is, or will be, the only fire kit I have in here at all. And this isn't so much as advertisement, but Stanford Outdoor Supplies makes these. They call this their Boss Kit. You can get them at their website. It's 20 bucks. With this, you're getting 33 pieces. Anything from a large ferrule rod to magnesium capsules to a hell of a lot of fat wood, jute twine, lighter, wet fire, steel wool, everything. The only thing I added to this kit at all was a 9-volt battery for the steel wool. Like I said, $19.99. As far as water purification, I've got a Sawyer Mini that I can clip on, or I've got a attachment kit to put it onto my Camelback, and then I have just the Walmart brand life straws. These things work. This is what I used the entire time I was out there, and I drank out of the Nolan River, which, if you're from Western Kentucky, you know it's not the cleanest river in the world. I grew up on the Nolan, and never once in my life would I think that I would be drinking out of it. But I did. I said that I'm going to be keeping just more batteries. I have 2 sets of batteries for every flashlight, and then in this I have a little solar recharger. Recharges any USB devices. That goes along with, getting rid of the flashlights. Something else I did take. I took in 100 foot of thick, heavy utility rope. It's unnecessary. I did not use it at all. My opinion, 550 cord and just random utility twine, that's what stands. I'm not going to be having 100 feet of utility line strapped on the outside of my bag. I will be I keep a Baofeng in every bag. That's staying in this bag. Back to water purification. Water purification tabs, those are in every one of my bags. And that doesn't even have to be for out in the wilderness, but if there's a problem with wherever you get your water source, whether it's your well or the city water, there's a boil water advisory, and you say the water's out or the power's out, and it's a boil water advisory. You don't have any way to boil your water. Can't light fire in your house, whatever. Those can go in with that. I took toilet paper, of course. That'll be staying in here. I've got just some random tools in here that are staying. A screwdriver, a right in the ring pin. This is something I do, and this is at your discretion. I keep knives, but I also, in every bag, keep a razor blade, a razor knife. That's just a personal preference. I like having a razor. I do. I keep a roll of 75-pound picture frame wire. The interior zippers on this, these are actually these little pulls. These are tender pulls. You can pop this off and pull the inside of these zipper pulls out. That's tender. Space blankets and some hot hands and feet. Those are all staying. A Shema. And in here normally was my mechanics gloves. They're actually in the washer right now because they did get dirty out there this weekend. So those are staying as well. Back to lighting sources. One other thing that I do keep I do keep some chem lights in here. Those are really good for hanging on your shelter over your hammock for a night. If you just want some light in there, and some waterproof bags. Throw your electronics, throw your clothes in there, keep them dry. But besides that, pocket saw. That's another thing I took. I took a big old machete with a saw blade on the back. It's pointless. I keep a decent size fixed blade knife on here, and then I've got a pocket saw. I found that with that machete, the saw was on the back side of it, I couldn't saw with it. The way the grip was made up, and I tried a few different people's, they had, you know, different variants of different things like that, and the grip, it just doesn't give you the right grip to saw. It's for hacking. So that's gone. In here now, with the winter climate, I keep a toboggan and thermal layer, not thermal layer, thermal long underwear. A lot of that, they roll up small. I am keeping those in there. They roll up really small, so that stays. And medical kit. That's going to stay regardless. This isn't the bag it's normally in. The bag that it's normally in, the zipper blew out. So I've actually got a new one ordered, but this is staying on here for now. Hey guys, I didn't go over every single thing that's in that bag. You know, there's lots of things that, you know, it's common sense. In there, there's compass and, you know, just a lot of stuff that you should know that should be in your bag. In mine, I keep a GPS in there. A lot of people are against the whole, you know, GPS monitoring, you do da-da-da, and does it have the capabilities? Yes, but if anything ever happened, you know, in my opinion, this bag is more or less that, you know, I just need to get away from the house. Say there's a natural disaster, something like that. You know, I can just grab this bag and go. This isn't really my, you know, shit hit the fan, there's tanks rolling down my street bag. I have a bag that, you know, that's more, in my mind, that's more a fun bag, but I call that my assault pack. And that stays, you know, in with my weapons and plate carriers and stuff like that. But this isn't a let's run and gun bag. This is, we need to get out of the house. So, you know, that stuff doesn't stay in there. But I do keep a GPS in there. You know, with phones and stuff, if they die. That's something else I do keep, the rechargeable, or the backup batteries to recharge a phone. And so, but really, there's not going to be much more in that bag. I mean, this bag, before I went out there, I could barely lift it. And, you know, I'm lifting it easily with one hand now. I lost probably, I honestly got probably lost 35, 40 pounds. And like I said, a lot of that is I knew was going to happen because I did pack so much on purpose. But a lot of the gear you just don't need. I found that, you know, it was just pointless. A lot of my stuff was redundancy stuff. I didn't need so much stuff. And the flashlights, you know, the MAC lights and stuff, they get heavy. And, you know, I really found that ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. They do. And definitely whenever you're hiking uphill, just trying to get out. So I hope this video helps you. If you guys have any questions or at all, you know, comment below or message me on Facebook. It's just Bravo Ready at Facebook. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and check us out for the next videos. Thank you. One other thing, guys. The little Stanford Outdoor Supply bags I was saying about, the fire making kit and the hunting and fishing kit. I did do full reviews on those, and fire kit links right here, and the hunting fishing kits are right here. Those are definitely staying in my bag, and actually I'm going to be purchasing more of those to go in all my bags. So, like I said, check those out here and there. I don't care, just click one. See you guys.